We'll move on then to, you mentioned about Dara Canavan. He led the way for Tyrone in this one. 115 to 111 at Healy Park. This is a huge, huge win for Tyrone. Canavan got the goal. It was a really dogged performance by Tyrone. And against a lot of people saying that they would lose this game to Mayo, they once again beat Mayo in a big game. And that now puts them on 4 points. Their chances of survival now look pretty strong.
They do, to be fair, and they shut a lot of people up, including myself and yourself, Seamus. They do that quite a lot, Tyrone. Whenever they seem to be down, they produce a good performance. But what I will say, in the first half, it looked like plain sailing. Mayo were going to win this game. McKinnon O'Connor was hitting the lights out. Jordan Flynn was performing well. The midfield was motoring well. And Tyrone just looked rudderless. They looked out of ideas in that first half. Like, it was always slow, lethargic build up in that first half. But then, as soon as we talk about Darragh Canavan, but as soon as Darren McCurry comes on in the second half, they're a completely different team. They have an outlet. He's going to, everything he shoots, he puts over the bar. Like, he had an 80% shot accuracy in that second half. Darragh Canavan gets that goal, obviously, and it was a well-taken goal. He had a lot to do from where he got the ball initially to jig in and out and put the ball into the back of the net. But Mayo, in addition, I don't know, they just looked out of ideas themselves in that second half. Like, as soon as Tyrone pushed up on Mayo's kickouts, Robbie Henley was struggling, the whole Mayo midfield was struggling, and Tyrone just pushed up on them, and they did absolutely brilliant in that second half and got a crucial win. A word on Darragh Canavan. Last 4 games, his statistics against Maynooth University, UCD, Galway, and Mayo combined: 19 shots, 1 goal, 14 points, 112 from play, 79% shot accuracy, 2 man of the match awards. And the man of the matches were last night against Mayo and the game against UCD in the Sigerson final. The guy's on fire. And having said that, if he was staying on for the last 10 minutes of the Galway game last week, he probably would have got man of the match in that game too. And Tyrone probably would have won that. So, yeah, I'd love to be in Darragh Canavan's shoes at the moment, Seamus. He's in the form of his life.
He certainly is, and you'd love to have him on your team as well. There was one bit of controversy from this game that we will touch on before we move on to the last 2 games in Division 1. That was the Mayo penalty in the first half, and then the subsequent black card to Cormac Quinn. First instinct, it looked outside the box. And then, there's a question, did he actually mean to take out Jordan Flynn? I'm unsure. I think there is an art to making it look like it was an accident, but personally, I didn't think he 100% meant it. What did you think?
I think the honest, probably interpretation of this rule is it a goal scoring opportunity? We're going back to the Sean Powter and Paul Ganey rule last year, and the Niall Scully rule Kildare. Do I think it was a goal scoring opportunity? I think if Jordan Flynn gets a touch on the ball, and let's say he wasn't trips, he probably would have gone through on goal. But there's a few Tyrone defenders around, so it's a hard one to judge. It really is, Seamus. It's down to interpretation of the referee. If he deems it a goal scoring opportunity, it's a penalty. It's a hard one it really is a hard one to judge, because like the one with Powter and Gailey last year was given, and then the one with Niall Scully wasn't given, and now this one was given last night. So, and there was another one with a similar incident last year between Westmeath and Tyrone in the All-Ireland group stages, where Kevin Maguire clearly takes out the Tyrone player. I'm not sure who it was off the top of my head.
Colin Kilpatrick, yeah.
Colin Kilpatrick. That was a clear drag down, and it was a goal scoring opportunity.
Like, literally from here, like the collar. Yanked him down. Because Kilpatrick's so big as well, it happened in slow motion.
And the point is, if that wasn't given as a goal scoring opportunity, why is this given as a goal scoring opportunity when there's so many men around? And the one with Kevin Maguire, there was no Westmeath player behind him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
a lack of consistency, and that's why the Cork one last year was so baffling, because no Kerry player even, protested for a penalty. I remember last year they were all like, "Oh, we'll take the free." Oh wait, it's a penalty. The referee seemed to be the only one in the stadium who was like, "Yeah, okay, that's a penalty." That's why like consistency needs to be implemented there. Tyrone, we'll get into these as well. Monaghan lost. Like, we'll get on to that. That was a shocker of results for Monaghan. Roscommon are still obviously in the mix, even though they won. Galway losing to Derry as well. That kind of puts them right in the mix as well. Like, we'll take a look here, because we'll look at it before we move on. Obviously, as well, we'll look at it just here, the official league table, how things stand now. So that's the Division 1 table. Tyrone now are 4th. So they're level on points with Mayo and Dublin. And like we said, they still have to face Monaghan, they still have to face Kerry, and they still have to face Dublin. So it's not exactly an easy run in, especially because Monaghan are going to be scrapping for points as well. But where do you see Tyrone finishing now?
It's a tough one, actually. Looking at
They're
that
Mayo
table
as well, Matthew. Like, I'm just thinking about it there. Mayo as well. Like,
that's the thing. Like, I will say this, Seamus. Other than Derry, every team in this division is in trouble.
Yeah.
Look at the points. There's a gap of 2 points between Dublin in 2nd and Monaghan in 8th. That's the Division 1. It's just incredible in its own right. I think, looking at the statistics there, looking at the points difference, Kerry could easily get dragged into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at like -1 points difference, that is really, really poor from them. I think the favourites at the moment to go down to Roscommon and Monaghan. They might prove us wrong in the next few weeks, but Tyrone are certainly in a good position. Like, I'm thinking who they have next, Tyrone. I think they have Kerry, Dublin, and is it Kerry, Dublin, Monaghan. You would expect them to lose to Kerry and Dublin. That's granted. But I think they'd beat Monaghan. So 6 points, I think that should be enough for them to stay up shape. So I think they'll finish about 5th or 4th now, the fact they won last night.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a good point. They play Kerry next, and then they've Dublin. And the Kerry game is away from home, and Kerry need a bite back. So that one might be a difficult game. But again, it's a Kerry team that are completely shook for confidence, especially the full back line after conceding 3 goals. That would be a really tasty one to look at. And Jack O'Connor will have them fired up to the back axis because of what happened this weekend against Dublin. Like, it's just unbelievable how they capitulate. I never, ever, ever, ever saw it going like that. If you told me at the start of the day that Dublin would win by 10 points, just bizarre. So they need a massive response. Tyrone, going down to Kerry, it's going to be a difficult place to go and come out with a win, but they definitely are capable of it. And with Dara Canavan and Darren McCurry in their side, they're going to be as confident as ever. One team that is as confident as ever, they pulled up another victory, making it 4 wins out of 4. They topped the table sitting pretty as Derry. They beat Galway 3-10 to 1-11 at Pearse Stadium. However, there were 2 key moments in this game. First one, Galway missing the goal chance. In the 36th minute, Niall Daly goes straight through on goal with Ryan Scullion. Scullion saves it, not once, but twice, and the ball goes out and Scullion deals with it. Niall Daly, you can see him immediately. He knew that was a massive goal chance. You do not get those chances against Derry like that. And then, just minutes later, Derry are awarded a penalty for a foul committed by Kieran Malloy. Kieran Malloy is given a black card, is sent off for the sin bin, and Shane McGuigan tucks the penalty away. From there, Derry go on to get the victory. Those 2, that's it. Those are the differences. Those are the margins. Derry go on to win, I think, because of those 2 moments. I think if Niall Daly sticks it in the back of the net, what me and you were talking about being a real banana skin, I think that would have come to fruition had those moments have gone differently.
And that's it for Galway. It was just the key moments. If they converted that goal chance, we could have been talking about something else. But yeah, Derry, they do what they usually do in this division and win. They are really, really on fire at the moment. And the thing is with Derry, unlike other teams, as you mentioned there, they get the key moments on their side. They get it right. Galway don't, or any other side don't at the moment. And that's the difference. Like, Derry are just a really well-oiled machine at this present moment in time. And I think that's their first win against Galway in over 20 years in any competition. So they would love to break that duck. And they did it today, rather. Yeah, they did a really, really good performance. McGuigan scoring 1-2 there. And Owen McAvoy had a good performance. The centre back was here, and Conor Glass in midfield was very, very good as he usually is. We talked about Dublin being all Ireland contenders, and you would the Shater Cat kind of smile on your face, Seamus. But Derry, could they be all Ireland contenders too? Because look at the first
Absolutely.
4 games, they look really, really, really strong. And I don't know who's going to. The Kerry have lost to them now. Dublin still have to play them. The Dublin against Derry in the next few weeks should be a very interesting time.
It just depends on, that 100%. Dublin Derry is kind of like literally one of the most anticipated games in the league, probably next to Dublin and Kerry. It's probably the most anticipated game in the league because, like, it's just the two teams that are just on red hot form right now. Dublin have suddenly got everybody talking about them because of the victory over Kerry, and Derry are, been seen as, been sung around the country as the form team and the team that are seemingly on an unstoppable push towards an All-Ireland title. Now, we do have a lot of people watching, so for anybody who is watching, if you want to put your comments in, let us know what you make of the current state of affairs in the GAA, the current state of these games, your opinions on them. We will answer them all, so please get involved in the discussion as well. But yeah, for Derry, it's a massive, massive result. They continue on the train. They seem to be quite unstoppable. We'll see if that continues against the Dubs next weekend. That would be one hell of a game. Now, one team who produced a massive result this weekend, like a genuinely massive result this weekend, was Roscommon. I had to do a double take, Matthew, when I saw this result. I didn't see this game, but 116 to 7 points. I was like, what? I was like, Monaghan weren't even close. Like, what the hell happened here? Roscommon led 9 points to 4 at halftime. And then Shane Canan hit the back of the net 3 minutes into the second half, basically to put the game to bed. Dara Craig also hit 4 points from play. Monaghan were never close to Roscommon in this game. With, I was thinking this is what they do. This is the type of game that Monaghan would win to stay up. Are we seeing for the first time the sign that maybe this year is different?
I certainly think so, Seamus, because that was the key game today. And it was an opportunity to show that their defence isn't as bad as the stats show. Like I mentioned during the week on my show, Monaghan had the worst defensive record of any of the Alliance League teams with 67 conceded. I don't know, is that the same now? I have to double check this. But to concede 116 kind of exemplarize the point. Monaghan need to improve defensively because they cannot keep conceding these amounts of effort. Like 9 points to 4 at halftime, it looked over. You would expect Monaghan to get their chest out, get going in the second half, but then Shane Canan hits the goal and then no, that's it. But yeah, Monaghan, they're in serious danger now going down. They still have to play Mayo, still have to play Tyrone, and still have to play Galway. So I don't see the stay up Seamus as of this season. But then again, they have proved us wrong before. Can they do it again? I don't know.
But that's it. They need another Dublin-esque performance. They get in Croke Park. They need that.
Yeah, to survive. And that's the main thing for Monaghan. But we're losing sight of the main story here, in my opinion, and it is Roscommon. They shut the pundits up with this performance. Really, really good. Dara Craig. Like, over the last few weeks, we talked about Darragh Canavan in the Sigerson Cup. Dara Craig scored 9 points in that Sigerson final. He scored 6 in this, 4 from play, as you mentioned. The guy's on fire. Anything, again, like Conor Cannon, more or less, anything he touches turns to gold. Shane Canan getting the goal was massive for them. Dermot Morta, Dolly Smith coming back into the team did really, really well. Enda Smith from midfield scored 3 points. He was the key in this game as well from driving up the field from that point of view for Roscommon. And it's a massive win for Davy Burke because there would have been a lot of stick after his post-match interview against Dublin last week. And to come out with this performance, I think he shut a lot of the media up here and really, really good for Roscommon, a crucial result for them. But can they maintain it for the rest of the league campaign? There are 3 points at the moment. I think one more win and they could very well be safe.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. Let's take a look at the league table before we carry on and let's kind of speculate on what we think will happen from here. So Derry, I mean, it's a pretty safe bet to say that Derry will make it to the league final. I mean, they're like left to face. They have Dublin. That might be obviously a tricky one. Then on top of that, they have to face Mayo and they have to face Roscommon. Now, I think you can say that they'd probably beat Roscommon. So then the Mayo game could be tricky, but I still would tip them to win that. Then brings us to the Dublin one. So I think Derry, safe to say, they're in a league final. Dublin, Mayo, Tyrone, and Kerry all on 4 points. Like, I mean, that is just absolutely bizarre. Then Roscommon on 3, Galway on 3, Monaghan on 2. I mean, what are you thinking? Taking a look at that, if you had to spell it out?
It's a tough one, it really is. Right now, I'd say Monaghan and Roscommon are gone, as of now. I'm just hoping that Galway more than anything, because they have very good footballers and they deserve Division 1 status. I'm just hoping that they get a good performance in the next few games. And look at the Tyrone game last week. Not today, though, last week. Galway looked very, very good. And there is that performance
You
in them.
can't doubt the fight there last week. They showed it.
That's the thing. And you can't, but then again, you can't doubt the fight that Roscommon showed today. So it's going to be very interesting looking at the fixtures. I know we've made the mistake time and time again. I tried my best to, predict Monaghan to stay up at the start of the season, but that result today probably epitomises, and the defensive qualities they've shown so far, I think they're going down, Seamus. This could be the year for the first time since 2014. They could be in Division 2.
No, that's it. Like, you look at the score difference, minus 33. Like, the thing is that we have to take into account, as we say, you're not guaranteed anything based off previous years. And Monaghan, if you were to look at it not knowing anything about the teams, you would look at Monaghan and say, well, they're going down. Because they still have to face Mayo, which is going to be a difficult game to win. I know they won it last year to keep themselves up, but if they're going into it this year without Darren Hughes, without Kieran Hughes, without Rory Beggan, without Conor McManus, we might see McManus appear for those games, especially when his county needs him. They need a bit of that magic. But when they're not probably playing with as strong a deck as they were last year, and they have to face Monaghan, when they have to face Mayo, they have to face, I believe, is it Galway, who will be scrapping for points as well, and they have to face Tyrone. Like, it's not going to be an easy run in.